Cash One Pawn has the most extensive inventory of any pawn shop in western Montana. Whether you're in the market for firearms, power tools, bows, video game consoles, or sunglasses, Cash One Pawn is the best deals around. And now Cash One Pawn gives you the ability to shop online from anywhere. Make CashOnePawn.com part of your shopping habits. Also make sure to download the Cash One Pawn app. Cash One Pawn, Missoula's premier pawn shop, located on Roller Coaster Road on the way to the Y. Nuanez Now ESPN Radio down here with Brody Grebe, the preseason Big Sky Conference Defensive Player of the Year coming into the 2024 football season. Let's just start there, Brody. I mean, you're a senior. You're here at the Big Sky Kickoff. What's it like just sort of soaking all this in and knowing that you're entering now your last year of college football?
It's a great experience. Coming here, being able to hang out with some of the best players in this conference, get to know them more on a personal level. When usually we're just seeing each other on the field and you're fighting, you're battling and stuff like that. But here it's kind of a different experience to get to know them on a different level and respect them for the things that they've done at their schools too. So it's been a great experience coming here.
How fast do you kind of realize, hey, these guys are kind of living the same experience? Like last night at the blackjack table, you saw like Idaho, Eastern Washington, and Montana sitting next to each other, right? Like Coach Houck and Coach Vegan are sitting next to each other. How long does it take you to realize, hey, the rivalries are kind of aside when you're at an event like this?
It's just fun. Like I was saying earlier, it's not a football game. You're at being able, and you've had a lot of the same experiences as a lot of these guys. So being able to go and just chop it up and have some fun with them, go play some golf on the simulator and get on the tables, and it's just a good time.
How's summer been for Montana State football?
We put a lot of work in. We've been focusing on being uncomfortable because last year we were in a lot of uncomfortable situations and didn't come out on top on a few of them. So we're looking this summer just to continue on our path of getting better every day, being comfortable in uncomfortable situations.
2 years ago, Big Sky champs, and I know last year that was the goal again. What was the biggest difference between 2 years ago and last year, do you think?
I think we were just able 2 years ago to come up in the big games in the fourth quarter when everything was on the line. We were able to finish those games out, and we had a lot of those games at home, which helps, but being on the road, we got to be able to finish those games this year.
How challenging was the schedule last year? I mean, like you mentioned, you guys played 5 of the top 10 teams in the country on the road.
It was tough, obviously. One of the toughest things, though, was a lot of those games were night games or late, and having to get home like at 2 or 3 a.m. and then get up and be ready for the next week when you're behind on sleep and everything like that. Obviously, it's not an excuse, and that's not what I'm trying to make it to be. But going on the road is nothing like Bobcat Stadium when you got 25,000 in your back screaming and they're helping, making a complete difference in the game.
Brody Grebe, Montana State senior here on Nuanez Now. We've talked about this before, but your class, you guys have all kind of been natural leaders for a long time and kind of the leaders of the Montana State program for a long time, and now here you are seniors. So does that make a difference, or does it feel like a different mentality, or is it just kind of the same? Do you hope to lead in a different way, I guess is what I'm asking?
For me, no, I don't think. It's not a ton of difference for me personally, but I think a lot of these seniors are kind of stepping up into a role of leadership and having, I think, 24 or whatever seniors. That makes a huge difference. The top teams in the country every single year have a lot of seniors, and that's super important for a team to have experience and depth at every position, and have a senior leader that can take your group to the next level is super important.
I want to ask you about the cowboy thing. It's interesting, right? You guys, a lot of you bought into wearing the cowboy hats on the road trips. I mean, you're a real cowboy. You actually probably have ridden a horse and all this sort of stuff. So, where's that come from, and what do you like about it?
I think I like most about it is just the mentality. It's blue-collar, hard-nosed mentality. We're going to show up every day to work, going on the road. We're on Montana time. We're going to do our thing. We're going to go to work. And I think that's what the Cowboy Hat's about.
And some of the guys, it's pretty funny, watching like the California DBs wearing the Cowboy Hat, but it seems like they bought into it too, right?
Yeah, they bought in, they love it, and whoever wants to do it, I'm happy for them to do it, and I tell them, put it on, let's go.
I was thinking about this too. Lan Larson from UC Davis, the preseason offensive player of the year, he's also a sort of a cowboy. He was a rodeo guy back in high school. So not only the cowboy mentality, but the rodeo mentality too. Do you think that helps you in football?
I think it brings a certain level of toughness. He said he grew up on a ranch too, and obviously it's worked for him just like it's worked for me. And growing up, having responsibilities, having a lot on your plate, knowing that you're going to have to go out and do chores and go to work and stuff before school, on the weekends during the summer. I think it just brings a different amount of mental toughness and physical toughness as well.
It's just so interesting that you've seen this time and time again over the last forever in Montana, right? Guys that come from these rural working class backgrounds, it does seem like they transition to college football a little easier. Do you think it is because of the elevated responsibilities like you're talking about?
I think that's what it is, and I think a lot of it is just having a chip on your shoulder.
Totally.
Coming from a small school, having people tell you your whole life that you're not good enough, you need to play against better competition. That's fine with me. That gives me a greater meaning and purpose and a chip on my shoulder to go do what's not expected of me.
Join Town Pump's Pump It Up Rewards Plus program and never pay full price for fuel again.
Save 5 cents on every gallon every day at any Town Pump across Montana.
Plus, earn and redeem points on your favorite in-store items to get free stuff with our clubs.
Stop in and pick up a rewards card. Download the Pump It Up Rewards Plus app today.
Or visit townpump.com/rewards to register and start saving.
Right down the road, pump it up, oh yeah.
Well, I remember when you first started this journey, you bet on yourself, went to the prep school, and then you get this opportunity at Montana State. How have you grown both mentally and physically since then?
Obviously, that was the greatest change in my life I've ever experienced, going from a town of 100 people, if that, to the East Coast was definitely life-changing. But those people treated me with respect and made me who I am and gave me some experiences that I could take to Montana State and use for the rest of my life. And just, like I said, having the chip on my shoulder from being a small-town guy, being told that I'm not good enough to get a full scholarship at Montana State even coming out of high school. So I think I've proved that I deserve that, and I'm still proving that I want to be the best player in this conference, best player in this division.
Brody Grebe here on Nuanez Now, ESPN Radio. We were talking about this. I think that you're probably the guy from the smallest town in the Big Sky Conference, period. What do you think of that?
Could be true.
How many people live in Melstone? About 200?
No.
Not even on 200?
Like 40 in the town. The rest of the 60 are from outside of town. Yeah, but I don't know. Pickering, Sunburst is pretty small, but he said there's more than 100, so I don't know.
Well, because Sunburst, they count the whole county, right? I think Sunburst says there's 293, but they count all of North Toole County.
I don't know. I would assume probably one of the smallest.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. Well, when it comes to expectations for this year, I mean, they're always high at Montana State. But for you, how would you describe just your expectations as a team?
As a team, we're just trying to get over that hump. We've been right there. And like I was saying before, we just got to be comfortable when it gets hard during tough games, because not every game is going to go perfectly well. There's a ton of great teams in this conference, around the league, in the FCS in general. When we get to the playoffs, it's not going to be comfortable, but we got to have some good home games. A lot of the tough games this year we have at home. We got to get that home field advantage that we've been looking for. In 2021, it worked out to where SDSU beat whoever it was, so we had the home field advantage, and you see how that works out. And last year, definitely how it ended, leaves a bad taste in your mouth, and we're working through that, I think it gives us a bigger purpose as well.
Last thing for you as a defense, how do you think you guys have evolved, especially with a couple new coordinators at the helm, especially a guy you played for the last couple of years with Sean Howe, but I know Bobby Daly, a guy you're familiar with as well. How have things changed?
I don't think there's a ton of change, but what there is a change of is I think a lot of trust in Coach Daly and a lot of seniors that respect the guy, that are leading from the front and being able to just put all your trust in him. Maybe it's not the right call, maybe it is, but either way we're going to go out there and do whatever we can for the guy. And just as a group of seniors, we got a lot of depth and a lot of great guys on defense this year, and probably our best well-rounded defense that we've had. And a few years. So I'm excited.
What do you think of playing a week 0 game? You guys, you're starting faster than everybody else around here. You guys are going to be on the ground running what, like a week after next? Yeah, next Friday?
Next Thursday.
Next Thursday, right.
We're already starting.
I should know that. I'm going to Bozeman next Thursday, so I should probably know where I'm going to be.
Yeah. It's going to be crazy. It's going to go by so fast. I'm trying to soak it all in, being the last ride. So it's going to be in Albuquerque at 2 p.m., so I'm sure it's not going to be very hot or anything. But, yeah, we're excited to be able to go out and play against an FBS team and kind of put your name on the map maybe or something like that. If you have a good game against an FBS team, maybe people will look at you differently. And I have high expectations for myself this year, so those games at the beginning of the season are going to be important.
Brody Grebe, the Melstone Cowboy. Do you love your nickname?
I like it. Yeah, I like it.
It's good when it fits you. Thanks for doing this, man.
Appreciate it.
Our family on our mom's side has a deep Montana history, especially stemming from Butte and Helena. And we are so proud. One of the things we are most proud of is to call ourselves Montanans. At Up Top Clothing, they have Montana-made and Montana-branded clothing for both men and women. Their Montana Till I Die collection is one of my favorite collections anywhere in the clothing world. And you can shop online and get the Montana Till I Die collection and all the other great gear that Up Top Clothing makes delivered right to your doorstep. Visit teamuptop.com, and if you use the promo code SKYLINE15, you're going to get a discount on all your online ordering. Teamuptop.com, Up Top Clothing, reminding you to take a step back and enjoy the moment.